welcome to the 12 Sports NFL Betting Preview Show. I'm Mike, he's Aaron, and we're in place, of course. Captain Lou is usually in the spot where I am. What's going on, Aaron?
No, not a whole lot. It's week 10 now in the NFL, and every week I learn one thing, and then it's that I know nothing.
But not as much as you don't know in college football, right?
Apparently, that's not a good starter for the show. I actually have been doing pretty well. Last week I did have a losing week, which is quite unfortunate, but it was 6-7, so it's not the worst losing week one could have.
Fair enough. BetUS.com is our lines today, which is where our lines come from. Promo code 120Z for a 125% first deposit bonus or 200% crypto bonus. Help the show out and the network here. Aaron, let's first talk about Thursday Night Football quickly. Dolphins beat the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a surprising matchup. If you saw that happening the way it did, I don't believe you. 22-10. I mean, I could see the Dolphins squeaking out a last-second field goal victory or something like that, but we saw a situation where a team in the Ravens took everything they had to beat the Vikings on an overtime. They went to overtime, so you had extra game time, and to have to play a short week. I mean, I say this every week. In the NFL, the difference between 1 and 32 isn't large. It might look large on a week basis or a small 3-game sample size, but yes, just because the Lions haven't won a game yet doesn't mean they're not competitive. I mean, they've taken this same Ravens team to the brink, and it took them a miracle, NFL record field goal to beat the Lions. So, any given Sunday is a real term, and I think the Dolphins proved it also extends to any given Thursday, I guess.
Any given Thursday. Oh, that's good promotional for Thursday Night Football. Before we get into this week, I noticed there's a lot of good 1 o'clock games, and then 4 o'clock, then Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, really good. What are your thoughts before we get into it?
I like them all. I mean, I think there's some really good 1 o'clock games. I think there's some decent late games. I'm kind of looking forward to Minnesota at the Chargers. Seattle at Green Bay will be interesting depending on who's under center. It would be interesting. Actually, it'd probably be interesting for different reasons depending on who is under center. I mean, if Russ plays and Aaron Rodgers plays, obviously we get that marquee star matchup, but they're both coming off of weird injuries, COVID-19. But if we get Geno and we get Jordan Love, then we could just get a comedy of errors in this game.
Right. And one more thing, give me a game of the week. I'm leaning towards Browns Patriots, but it might have to wait till Monday for the game of the week.
Well, for me, the game of the week I think is the Sunday night game. I think we have a situation where these two teams are battling for a crowded AFC West first place. 6-4 might be a leader, in the clubhouse after 10 weeks for Kansas City, which is after all this turmoil for us to say Kansas City is, the first place after everything that's happened is kind of an interesting look. But then you have Las Vegas, who's everything they've done in the last 10 weeks, is off the field has just not gone their way. So for them to be in first place after most of the midway point of the season, it's a testament. I mean, no coach, no number one wide receiver, and now I don't know if he's their number one quarterback or cornerback, but definitely one of their starters is now cut as well. So that for me is the game of the week. If Las Vegas can find a way to still win that game here at home, it's a testament to their fortitude because nothing phases them, it seems.
Yeah, and like you said before in the AM drive, but you've said that Vegas has a next day mentality. And not exactly those words, but you said no matter what happens, they keep going on.
Turn the page, absolutely.
Well, let's get into it here. The first game, we're going to go right in order as this is on BetUS.com. Again, BetUS.com, promo code 120Z for a 125% first deposit bonus. And as Aaron likes to say, we love BetUS. Just make sure to shop around to get the best lines. He'll explain that more as we go on.
Of course.
My Indianapolis Colts hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Colts are 10.5-point favorites, and the over-under is 47.5. For me, I'm going to go with the over here. I know my AM Drive 5 from yesterday, if you guys watched that show, was Jaguars plus 10.5. But for the sakes of this show, for the purposes of this show and the best bet, I'm going to go 47.5 over. I think both teams, or even a backdoor cover could happen. I think both teams can score, though.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to look at that 9-6 game against Buffalo and say, "Oh, like Jacksonville has a hard time scoring. Indianapolis's defense is obviously much more improved in the first couple of weeks of the season when they seem to get gashed by some teams." I'm kind of with you on this one. I think we're going to agree on our first bet here. I am on the over as well. I do like Indianapolis in this game. Just that hook is not moved. It is not moved off of 10.5 anywhere I can find
Yep.
all week. So regardless of how much money's coming in either way, it hasn't been able to sway the sports books. So that's really where I'm kind of like not loving the fact that I have to lay 10.5. So I do agree with you. I think Jacksonville, everybody's going to see that game last week and say, oh, Jacksonville can't score. This is an easy under. And it's possible, but I think Indianapolis proved to us against the Jets. They might be able to get this thing by themselves.
Fair. Lou has Colts minus 10.5, so I guess we all win if that is the case, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that side either. It's just such a big number to lay, but they are at home. And Jacksonville, despite this whole Buffalo situation, still not a good team.
Fair enough. Let's go to Foxborough for your Patriots. That's interesting how that lined up. Patriots are the next 1 o'clock / 10 o'clock for you?
It would be 10 o'clock, yes.
Okay. Patriots host the very capable Browns team. Both these teams are without Odell Beckham Jr., if you follow my drift there. Patriots, 2.5 at home here, and the total is set at 45. For me personally, I'm going with the over. I think both teams' offenses are improved, especially Browns without Odell, and especially Mac Jones' development. Both teams also have a decent defense at times, but I'm relying on more development than I am at possible reputation, whatever. I'm going with development over reputation here. Over 45.
So I can understand the logic behind that number. I just don't know if I can get behind it. It's due to the simple nature. I understand you say that the offense has improved, but this offense has been without Odell for a few weeks this season. And I mean, short of 2 weeks, they struggle. I mean, there's only 3 weeks this season they've put up over 20 points. I mean, you look at the Chiefs game, they put up 29. Texans, they put up 31. 4 games, but I forgot about the Bears. But the point is like Vikings, 14 points, Cardinals, 14 points, Broncos, 17 points, Steelers, 10, Bengals. They did have a big win against the Bengals. I forgot about that. All right, so let me take all of this, everything I just said. It just seemed like they had a hard time scoring lately, but I do know they kind of broke out against the Bengals. But that was due to a lot of running game. And they don't have that running game here with Chubb and Hunt. But we did all see what Dearness Johnson did on Thursday night against the Broncos. I actually still like the Cleveland Browns in this spot simply because New England's just bad at home. It's just very bad at home.
That's fair. You've been consistent with that.
I caught this at 3. I don't love it having it 2.5. But for the sake of the fact that we're picking the lines right now as we speak, I'll take the 2.5 in favor of Cleveland. The action here that I see at on the website I'm on is dead split, 50-50. So it's really a pick your poison kind of game. I bet this game at +3, and for the purposes of the show, I'll take the 2.5.
Lou will as well, and for the sakes of the show as well, I went over, but I also will say to you guys, my spread bet is Browns, so that's a win. That's all three of us saying that, which is interesting.
That means we lost. That means we lost.
Fair enough. Let's go to Dallas as the Dallas Cowboys take on the Atlanta Falcons. I have said to you that the Cowboys faced a really good defense with the Broncos, and Falcons are just not that defense. I got Cowboys minus 8.5 in this one, and the total is set at 54.5.
Yeah, so you got to look at a situation here where the offense for Dallas obviously needs to get back on track. The defense giving up 30 to Denver is really shocking to me. I know there was a couple short fields, but that was a terrible outing for Dallas. For everything, for Dak coming back, after basically coming back off a bye, off of missing a game, and then for that to be the output from this offense was just crazy to me. But the Cowboys are still a high-scoring offense. They're third in scoring, 30 points a game, and Dak's completing 70% of his 68% of his passes here. But I'm going to look for Dallas to get back on the wagon here. What's the line right now? 8.5.
Yeah.
That's great news for Dallas backers because I think it started at 10 or so this year, or at the beginning of the week. Despite the fact that they beat the Saints, I just don't. I know they're a playoff team. I just don't feel like I'm confident in Atlanta, especially going on the road and having to play a Dallas team that now just kind of seems like they've refocused. Like maybe they were feeling themselves after the Cooper Rush victory. I don't know,
Right.
but for me, I've got Dallas Cowboys. I've got a pissed off Dallas Cowboys. I've got Dan Quinn, my defensive coordinator. Well, who he used to coach? He used to coach the Atlanta Falcons. So I think there's some revenge factor there, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to lay the 8.5 here.
So is Lou. This could be a very interesting week for the fans and us, or not.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the Northeast again. It's East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Jets, or as Lou likes to type, the Hers, against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are minus 13 here. I disagree. I'm going Jets plus 13, and the over-under is 47.5.
Yeah. So I don't want any part of this game as a bettor. I mean, why would you feel confident laying double digits again with Buffalo? I understand, especially on the road again. We didn't see enough of Mike White against the Colts to really say, this is a fluke. And, the game against the Bengals was a fluke, and the game against the Bengals might be a trend here. So you're coming in with an unknown quarterback effectively again against this defense that's supposed to be really good, but has had some shortcomings. I mean, they played well. So now the offense is struggling in Buffalo. So what would you bet that would make you feel comfortable in this spot? A team that just scored 6 points against another team whose offense has a unknown at quarterback, theoretically. I know he's put up points against the Bengals. But, what would you feel if you had to make a bet here? What would you feel confident making a bet? I know for the purposes, I picked the game here. I picked a part of this game. I picked the under 47.5. I don't feel confident in it. I would say to you right now, disclaimer, do not bet anything a part of this game unless you really feel like you got a locked-in edge. But, I mean, what could you really feel locked in about in this game?
Lou went plus 12.5, and I agree with you. This thing is ugly because the Bills are inconsistent. They're not world beaters right now like they should be. But I do believe Jets plus 13 is my bet as well as Lou's. But I was also, a part of me wanted the under as well. So I was almost there with you.
Right.
Let's go another AFC South team. They're hosting an NFC South team, the Tennessee Titans. You kidding me, dog? And the New Orleans Saints. Titans are minus 3. The total is set at 44. Lou has the Titans minus 3. I've got the game at over 44.
Well, there's a way we can all. Well, there's not a way we can all win, but there's a way we can all lose this one, I guess. If it's a push and an under, but I took the Saints at 3.5 earlier in the week. It is down to 3, and even in 2.5 in some spots. So make sure you just get the best line you can. 3 is probably a good number. I'm going to agree with the pooch back there. Underdog, baby. I'm going with the dog. We've got a situation here where Ryan Tannehill is not feeling well right now. I don't think it's COVID related, but there's a small chance he doesn't play. We talked about this on the AM drive. The defense came through in the clutch with picking off Matt Stafford twice. Do I see that happening again? I understand that Trevor Siemian's not as good as Matt Stafford, but I believe that New Orleans really does defend the run very well. And actually, they're a very, very good defense overall.
Kamara's out too.
I understand that, and I think everything will be pointing towards the Titans right now. But I've already bet the Saints, so I'm just not going to waver off of that one. So give me 3 with no Kamara, and the line doesn't move. I still like the 3 here in this spot with a potential chance of an upset.
I agree. What is it? You know what the money line? Let me check that if it's on BetUS. Because it would be a plus 125.
Oh, not even that. Oh, wow, 125. I mean, I don't know. I'd still take 3 here in this spot because Tennessee can definitely, if Ryan Tannehill plays, even if he isn't feeling well, Tennessee can still come out with this win here, but I don't even know who Tennessee's backup quarterback is, to be honest with you.
I don't either. Maybe you can look that up for us.
I don't even really want to look it up. I'm just going to take those points and
Oh, I
pray here.
agree. Don't waver, pal. So Lou's got -3. You've got +3. I was with you on that, but I decided to go with the over for this game. That might be squashed. Buccaneers in the Washington football franchise. The Buccaneers are -10. The total is set at 51. I've got football team +10. It's not because Chase Young said, just watching, you'll see that I've been listening to your hate. But I still think football team, last time we saw them against this Buccaneers team, they played them pretty well. And that was with Taylor Heineke. So I'm going with +10 in this game.
Yeah, so I'll never understand this whole like hate. Like, why are we using such a strong word for this? Like, when you don't play well, people are going to respond to that.
Yep.
So I don't call it hate. Like, I mean, if you buy theoretically, every week when, last week when, or I guess 2 weeks ago when Tom Brady lost to the Saints, everybody was hating on him. I mean, like, it's criticism. I mean, you're not playing well. I mean, what are the football team here? 2-6, 1-7. They're not playing well. I mean, they're not. They got the fortunate bounce of a terrible division last year with no Dak Prescott. So, I mean, I still have faith in Tyler Heineke. I mean, they're coming. They're a good team if they can put it all together. They've got good running backs. They have a good receiver in Terry McLaurin. They're just not playing defense well. So if we're gonna go ahead and believe Chase Young and all this hate and et cetera, then okay, look, I'm ready to get back on the football team wagon here, and that's what I think we're both doing this week because I'm gonna also take the +10. But yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay coming out of a bye, I would love this game to be at home. I'd probably lay those points, but Tampa Bay has always historically, with or without Tom Brady, played Washington close, even if Washington is not a good football team. And all the indicators say that we shouldn't be doing this as far as Washington football team. They're 1-3 at home straight up, 0-4 against the spread. But the Bucs are 2-2 on the road and 0-4 against the spread. So it's not like, they're killing people when they go away from Raymond James Stadium. So that being said, I'm also on the football team, which I'm shocked to hear because when I gave that out at my AM Drive 5, you kind of looked at me sideways for it. So did I make a believer out of you?
I don't know. How about this? 73% of the money is on the Buccaneers, according to ESPN and I guess Caesars Sportsbook. But guess what? 100% of us is on the football team. We're all doing +10, or as Lou said, +9.5, which is technically the same thing.
Yeah, we need the defense to have a pulse here because they are 29th in total defense,
Oh,
29th in scoring defense, and last in third down defense and getting off the field.
they
So
also gave up 298 passing yards a game.
we're gonna need to say our Hail Marys for this one. But when it's ugly, sometimes you like to be in that trench when it's ugly.
Fair enough. Let's get to our last 1:00 game here. Our buddy Ian McQuist and a friend of 12 on Sports sometimes, well, all the time, but you get it. Guest stars. He's out of this game. He's in Pittsburgh right now. He's sending me snaps of all kind of stuff on there. Lions are 0-8. Not a good look. Steelers, though, escaped by the skin of their referee teeth against the Bears. So this game, Steelers are -9. Aaron, I wanted so hard to go +9 here in favor of Ian, who thinks he knows his team. But I think 42.5 just might be a bit too low, in my opinion.
That's fair. I mean,
over.
the Lions are coming off a bye week, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming off a short week, which obviously I understand spells a recipe for the Lions getting their first win. But I'm looking here in this spot. I mean, what is the advantage for the Lions on offense? I mean, it's not Jared Goff. DeAndre Swift is not, I guess, who we thought he was. He's not running well. I think he's barely even playing anymore. Like, it just seems like they're just I don't know what the message is in Detroit. It just seems like they go, they lose, sometimes dramatically, sometimes they lose. They get boat race, and the coach just comes up to the podium and cries. Like, it's just a weird thing going on in Detroit. And it seems like it has been for at least my life. I mean, it's just never been a positive situation here. So I look at a situation, I understand, 42 is a low number, but Najee Harris is slowly becoming the factor in Pittsburgh. And one of the things the Lions don't do incredibly well is stop the run. They're 17th in the league in stopping the run here. And we have probably no Chase Claypool, probably no Eric Ebron. And I'm thinking we get a steady dose of Najee Harris. Can't see anything really coming out of the Pittsburgh, or excuse me, of Detroit on offense. I can't get down with over 42.5. I think this game might barely get to like 30.
You're going under?
I'm going under.
So is Lou, and Lou watches the Lions closely. So you might be onto something there.
Yeah.
We got a few afternoon games here. And let's start in with the Chargers and the Vikings. The Los Angeles Chargers at home here. And the line is at 3, which is a perfect Chargers line, which is just, I mean, they always lose a game or win a game by 3, which is why I hate this spread here. The total is set at 53.5. I'm not touching the 3. I know I want the Vikings plus 3. Maybe some want the Chargers to get back on track. I'm going over 53.5. I think Kirk Cousins can find Justin Jefferson late, like they did against the Ravens, to kind of force overtime. Or maybe Justin Herbert can finally get back on the schneid, because I feel like they haven't been great unless they play the Chiefs, which doesn't make any sense. So I go over here.
Yeah, so the situation here, there's a lot of guys for the Vikings who are in COVID protocol or are going to miss a game, who will probably miss this game. Harrison Smith, first the biggest one, starting safety for the Vikings, is going to miss his second consecutive game here with being on the COVID-19 list here. I agree with you. I think the Vikings are a low-key quality opponent here for LA. Kirk Cousins, you're right. I mean, it's a situation where we look that he doesn't have to really have the spotlight on him, I guess, for lack of a better word. He doesn't have to have the spotlight on him. We know about primetime Kirk. This is not one of those things. But I don't know if we're looking at prisoner of the moment here with Kirk Cousins, with what he did, last week against the Ravens. But now, what is that worth with the Ravens losing to the Dolphins on Thursday night? Kirk Cousins is turning into my new Jay Cutler when it comes to betting. When I feel like I've got him figured out, he goes and carves up a secondary for 380 and 2 touchdowns. And the situation here is it's not going to be Kirk Cousins. It's going to be Dalvin Cook again. The Chargers are 32nd in the league, which is dead last in rushing yards allowed, and they are 24th in the league 21st in the league in yards per play on defense. So the question really is here, I'm kind of with you. I like the over in this spot, and that's ultimately where I went. But as far as taking a number on the line, you're right. The line just sits right there at that magical, like, Chargers walk-off field goal kind of spot. So I'll take the over with you in this spot. You can see how confident I am because I'm just all over the board here. But I'm going to take the over. Think we get some kind of game like 31-28 or something like that.
I think Lou was texting while driving because first he put the Jets as hers. Then he told me Chargers -5. I'm assuming he's okay with 3 then, if that's the case. Or maybe he was trying to go with the 3 and it just hit 5 instead. But, hey, shout out Lou, who does a great job hosting the show with you. What was you guys? You said you were 6 and 7 last week. What was he last week?
I don't know, to be honest with you. He probably did better than I did, but I was pretty.
That was the underdog week, though, right?
It was underdog week, so I don't know. I don't remember exactly what he had. He may have to enlighten us next week if he's back. But I was pretty fortunate to go 6 and 7 too. Like, that's the crazy thing.
Fair enough. And the last time I was on the show, I did pretty well. Unless I'm thinking of the time before that, because the time afterwards, I really didn't do that great. But I was like 13 and whatever last time I came on the show, and it was fun. But I don't know if I'm going to feel the same pain here or the same goodness here.
Glory fades sometimes.
I know. Let's go to Arizona Cardinals against the Carolina Panthers. I don't know. All I know is P.J. Walker's a starting quarterback for the Panthers. Kyler Murray, I would hope, is going to play this week, which I'm sure he will. It's at 4:05 Eastern, a 1 o'clock game for you, you lucky schmuck. Cardinals 10.5. I don't love that at all. So it's another game where I'm going with the total here. I part of me wants Cardinals minus 10.5 because PJ Walker, I've only liked him in the XFL. I don't like him with Matt Rule, even though they kind of know each other. I'm going with under 44. I think the Cardinals have some injuries to Chase Edmonds too.
Yeah, well, they do. I mean, Chase Edmonds probably not going to start, but James Conner is just dominating right now. He's got 11 touchdowns to lead the NFL in terms of total touchdowns.
It's crazy that he had cancer.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm so thankful that you bring it up every time he's around.
I'm beating the dead horse, okay?
The situation here is, is AJ Green going to be back? Is DeAndre Hopkins going to be back? If they're not back, I think that life doesn't get any easier for Kyler Murray, who's already, good Lord, you got any more noises to make?
Yeah, it was Mountain Dew.
I don't know. This is not a fun. It's not a fun number to be on. I'm gonna probably go ahead and just take the points here on the road and not really love it. And but yeah, I'm gonna take Panthers plus 10.5.
The long snapper Kyle Nelson is out. I don't know how long he's been out for the Cardinals. Big deal or no big deal, or you don't give a deal?
I mean, somebody's been practicing all week to do that, so I'm not gonna say it's too much of a deal.
Fair enough. Lou is actually on the over, so this is a game where someone's got to give, and a couple people got to get. So it's gonna be tough there. Thoughts on Cam Newton? I know you said it on the AM Drive yesterday, but thoughts on Cam Newton? You see a spot where he starts it all this year?
I mean, if it can work, yeah, I do. I mean, we kind of went back and forth, talked about it. Like, is Sam Darnold better than Cam Newton? I don't know. Maybe the reason I would say yes that he is because he's been in this offense longer. Like, this isn't like coming back to Ron Rivera. Like, they cut him last year, and Ron Rivera is still the coach. It's a different, completely different regime. One that actually actively got rid of him. So, yeah, I see a spot where he starts, especially if PJ Walker yucks it up this week. We're not getting Sam Darnold back for a couple weeks. I don't see a problem. If you can get Cam Newton up to speed here in less than 2 weeks, I don't see a problem starting him. Next weekend against Washington. I mean, that's a bad defense. Could make him look good.
It's so crazy how we're saying Washington's a bad defense now. I love preseason narratives, don't you?
Well, it's just like preseason rankings. It's like, yeah, okay, we're going in. You have expectations based on it, and that's how surprises and disappointments, kind of emerge from that. Like, is Washington a disappointment? I don't know. I mean, they're a disappointment in terms of their defense not playing well, but they were never really efficient or proficient on offense. So, for them to be 2-7, and I said it, like at the beginning of the season, they're playing a first place schedule because of the fact that they won the NFC East. So that hurts. That team's not built to do what they did. I mean, back-to-back years, because what was it, 7-9 last year when they won the division, or maybe 7-8-1? I don't remember.
Ugh.
Whatever it was. With
Yuck.
Dak Prescott being healthy and back for the entire season, a sub 500 record was just not going to get it done.
I agree, and you are right. They are 2-6, by the way.
Right.
But here's the thing. The preseason rankings always just piss me off because I feel like teams are just riding off of last year and what they did last year. Who cares, man? Expectations for this year. You want to go to the cheesesteak?
I want to go to the cheesesteak?
With cheesesteak, fool! Wisconsin.
Okay.
The Packers hosting the Seahawks. God knows which quarterback we get because Aaron Rodgers goes on the Pat McAfee show and says there's a slight chance he won't play. And Seattle might have Russell Wilson back. But this game's at 4:25 Eastern Time. It's at 3.5 right now in favor of the Packers. The total is set at 49. I got under. I don't know who's playing.
Yeah, so I looked at this when I was kind of handicapping, and it's another situation where why would you even want to be on this game when you can't figure out what the quarterback play is going to be? Because honestly, if it's Geno versus Jordan Love, I kind of feel like I like Geno in this spot. But if it's Aaron versus Jordan or Geno, if it's Aaron versus Geno or even Russell Wilson, I kind of like the home team in this spot. Like Aaron Rodgers isn't coming off the type of injury that Russell Wilson is coming off. Russell Wilson literally has an injury to his moneymaker, and that's his throwing finger. So the problem here is, what do you do in this spot? For purposes of the show, I took a pick. I took Green Bay -3.5 just simply because I believe that we're going to get a steady dose of running the football, which is what they should have really done against the Chiefs last week, which they didn't, which is unfortunate. Jordan's going to be at home. The crowd's going to be with him if he plays. And if it's Aaron Rodgers, then I don't sweat this 3.5. But I'm going to just take the 3.5 for the purposes of the show and just chalk this one up as to a probable L.
Fair point. Lou's got over in this game. So again, someone's got to give, and two of us are going to get out of here. My goodness. Broncos and Mile High hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Another late game, the last late game before the real late game. Teddy covers and the Broncos are -2. Oh, the total is set at 45.5. I've got Teddy covers. I think he comes back this week.
Oh dang, that thing jumped up another half point since I've done my picks. I like the over in this spot. I think Jalen Hurts is a capable quarterback, and Philadelphia, while they're not, the record doesn't obviously show it. They're pretty good on the road. The only real loss that they have that where they didn't feel in the game was against Oakland or Las Vegas, I guess. That might never ever get to me, but on the road they've won, I believe, 3 games on the road. Yeah, they've won 3 games on the road, and the other 2 games that they've lost were just they were competitive but just not in it. I know that Dallas kind of the score doesn't indicate it, but and the situation with Las Vegas, they just never in it. But I like them to be able to score points here. With Jerry Jeudy coming back, he looked good in the first week back last week against Dallas, and I feel like Denver wants to tailor their game plan on making this guy a superstar. And hopefully that doesn't come at the expense of the rest of the offense. But I believe that Denver can put up some points in this game. So I'm going to actually look to the over 45.5. And actually that thing's got steamed up about 2.5 points since Monday. So I think it opened up at 43. So I've got the bad end of this number, unfortunately. But I bet it at 45, and it's already even jumped up from there. So 45.5 for purposes of the show. I'm going to take the over.
Lou's got 1.5 as well from favor of the Broncos, so I guess 2 is fine for him. Hey, maybe we get an over. Maybe the Broncos run away with it.
I'm okay with that as long as they run it over the score or the total.
Fair enough. Have you been? I like the Eagles this year. I really do. I think Nick Sirianni has done a good job because the media absolutely bashed him for stuttering at the press conference. I like what the Eagles have done. I know Jalen Hurts may not be the future, but he's shown enough flashes to me to give him another chance. And the quarterback situation in the draft this year is not great. The Eagles have done a good job.
I mean, on the road, absolutely. They're 3-2, but they have not won a single home game this year. So,
I mean, but we weren't expecting anything out of them this year, anyways.
I was expecting Jalen Hurts to take a corner or turn the corner. I believe he has a little bit, but I was expecting him to bust the door wide open. And I don't know. For some reason, for me, Miles Sanders has been hurt, which is obviously a big loss for them. But just Jalen Hurts, I don't know. I expected a little more out of him this year in terms of I expected the Eagles to be a little bit better. Their defense plays incredibly well, and they've gotten the fortunate of some bad bounces, especially in like that San Francisco game early in the season when they lost 17-11. But I mean, I'm a little disappointed in the Eagles, but at the same time, you're right. I mean, the NFC East is not an incredibly powerful division. You really don't want to lose the home games. You're kind of punting your season inadvertently when you can't win home games.
Yeah, it's your Patriots take. It's also you're right about that. Home games are a big deal. especially when it comes playoff time. And if you can't get them done in the regular season, come on now.
Yep.
Sunday Night Football on NBC. Imagine that in Carrie Underwood's voice, not mine. Chiefs at the Raiders. Chiefs are minus 2.5. And Aaron, I don't want to see them back on the Chiefs. The total is 52 here. But I'm back for this week. I think the Chiefs, they're 5-4, and I don't know why I'm believing what Patrick Mahomes said, but he said, "Hey, it's not pretty, but we're winning games." They're 5. They won't win as much as you think they would, but like you said, we've grown accustomed to them being 8-1, and they're not. But they're 5-4 isn't bad. I've got Chiefs minus 2.5 against this Raiders team.
Yeah, I agree with Pat Mahomes. Like, this isn't college football. You don't need style points. You just need one more point than the team in front of you, and that's all that matters. A lot of people are with you in this spot. 77% of the spread money and 75%. Excuse me, 77% of the action and the tickets, 75% of the money are with Kansas City here, according to Vegas Insider, and it just doesn't. But at the same time, like, as much as it seems like a fade the public play, like, I don't really know if I feel 100% comfortable with Las Vegas. I mean, Derek Carr is slowly, could he be emerging as an MVP candidate, especially after Lamar slid against the Dolphins? I think it's possible. I don't know if he's the front runner, but I think it's possible he's in the conversation now. Another good game like that, Las Vegas gets a victory, albeit at home here. That's definitely, I think we're going to start talking about that. But I'm on the under. So there's a way we can both win here in this spot. But I'm on the under. I think the under is what, 52. Yeah, 52. So I'm on the under here. I think we get a gritty game. Kansas City's been playing incredible defense lately, albeit against guys like Jordan Love and things like that. But I think their defense has really stepped up since they've been playing more cover 2. And Las Vegas has an average defense. I mean, average enough. I think we can keep this number under the total. I think we're going to get something in like the 40s. The total is going to be in the 40s. I hope we don't see fireworks like the Kansas City Chiefs all of a sudden prove me wrong, and all of a sudden their dynamic offense is just back. I don't see it. I mean, it just hasn't really shown week to week that it's just getting astronomically better or astronomically back to what they used to be here. And I'm just not 100% sure that this is what I see this week, especially on prime time. Primetime games traditionally favor the dog and the under. So I'm going to go ahead and ride that trend. Vegas 3-1 at home straight up, and I think they got a shot to win it, but I'm not going to bet against you. I'll take the under in this spot.
Lose on the over, so he is betting against you.
So, yeah, there's a way that two of us can lose here in this spot.
And that's why the way we like it, right?
Well, yes. I mean, the thing is the situation is if everybody was on a consensus here, this would be a very boring show. But for the listener or the viewer to try to figure out where to go here probably is a tough call.
Yeah, but this is not called the NFL Betting Advice Preview Show. It's just called the NFL Betting Preview Show.
I don't think it's called the NFL Betting. At least it's the NFL Preview Show.
I call it the Betting Preview Show because it sounds better.
Okay, cool.
And look at this. Bingo.
Fair enough. I stand corrected.
Before we get to the Monday night game, I want to remind people that BetUS.com is the sponsor here. Promo code 120Z for a 125% first deposit bonus and a 200% crypto bonus if you're into the Doge. The Doge is good. I know nothing about crypto. I know you do, but I don't.
I mean, I dabble in crypto, but to say I know anything about it is a generous compliment.
Well, I give degenerate compliments. How about that?
If you say so.
Oh, Monday Night Football. Lou has not given us this pick yet. I think he's busy right now, but I've got my pick. Rams are 3.5-point favorites on the road for Monday's game against the 49ers in a division matchup. Part of me wants the under 49, which is what the total is at because it's an NFC West battle. But I also know the NFC West has a lot better offense than what it used to have years ago. I'm going Rams minus 3.5.
So I'm going to throw some numbers out here that's going to make you not really feel good about that pick.
Thank you.
So I'm looking here at Vegas Insider, and the Rams are 4-0 away from SoFi Stadium, which is obviously a good number. But you look at these betting trends here. 87% of action is on the LA Rams spread, minus 3.5. 98% of the money is on the LA Rams here in this spot. And 100% of the action. Now, again, this is where they get their information. It's not every single book known to man. There's so many different numbers here, but I know they take a good consensus of a lot of the books. But here, about 100% of the action is on the under. How you feeling?
Like I've been trapped and bamboozled.
That being said, I don't feel comfortable really not laying the Rams here in this spot. Coming off a loss, they're probably a little pissed off. They got the OBJ. They're feeling good. They're feeling fine. But I'm on strictly a fade the public play because, again, primetime favors dogs. So, I mean, San Francisco still seems like a capable team, but then you look at the stats that don't back up my claim. They're 0-4 at home, straight up, and 1-3 against the spread, straight up. So, plug your nose and pick a side in this one. I mean, you know my philosophy, home dog on primetime getting more than 3. I'm going to stick with that trend because it does seem to work, even though it doesn't work every time. So the 49ers, plus 3.5. That's where I'm going to be at in this spot.
I feel violated by not only Vegas, but I feel violated by the dog that's barking because the truck is backing up outside with a beeper, and my parents are pulling out of the driveway. I literally cannot win on this show today. Holy cow.
It's time to move out.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I might move to Nebraska or Wyoming. I'm tired of this crap.
Oof, you're going to be real cold if you move to those states.
Heck yeah, Colorado, Mile High, smoke it up. Don't do that.
You've never smoked in your life.
Heck yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Okay. Speaking of smoking, it's time to make our smoking hot bets of the week. That's not a segment. That's just what I called it. Our best bet of the week. Aaron, it's up to me and you because Lou did not give us this either. We love you, Lou, but come on, bro. Come on. Aaron, what is your best bet that you made of this entire week?
Oh, God. Probably none of them.
Lord have mercy. Thank you for watching this show today. Have a good one.
Yeah, I think it's Philly and the Eagles. I think Philly and the Broncos here. I think it's the over 45, now 45.5. I think a lot of people are expecting the under really to be a part of this. And I'm gonna say we get somewhere in the neighborhood of 50, 55 points here. So give me the over in that game. That's my best bet of the week.
My bet of the week is the Rams. I'm kidding. That's a lie. That's what Vegas wants me to say, but it's not going to happen, you gambling schmucks. You squares, you. I don't even know if that's the right way to use that. Okay. I've got, as you call them, the Washington football franchise plus 10 against the Buccaneers. I'm this close to going Cowboys, but I still like the way the Falcons are playing. So I'm going with the football team plus 10. Taylor Heineke, drink something today for me against this Buccaneers team. Maybe he can get the win this time. Ooh.
Yeah, drink a magical elixir that helps him beat one of the better offenses in the National Football League. It's a bold statement there, but I don't hate that one either. I kind of like the football team getting 10 there. I don't know. I feel like the defense might actually turn it on. I mean, Chase Young, you want to talk about everybody hating on you. Here's a real big chance to prove that they can kind of shut up for a little bit. But, you got to prove it. You can't just say, I see the hate, and then go out and suck it up again another Sunday. So, all right, we'll call Chase Young. We'll call Chase Young 2 sacks of Brady this Sunday.
We just got the word sacks, sucking it up, all kind of good innuendos here on the show. Great job, Aaron.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Hopefully my picks don't go to crap again this week. We're going to look for a winning week here. What do we have? 14 games on the docket. Let's go for a 9-6, 9-5.
14 will be 9-5.
9-5. Let's go for a 9-5 or better week.
I'm going for 10-4. I'm shooting for the stars.
No, I don't want to be greedy. Just make a little change. Something to take the wife out on a nice date.
Oh, or shooting for the moon, if you will. BetUS.com, promo code 120Z for 125% cash deposit bonus or crypto 200%. Aaron, we still have about 13 minutes left in the show. Any more? any more talking points on these games you want to get to? Let's just roll a quick rundown here. Jaguars, Colts. Give me a pick straight up. Jaguars, Colts, who wins?
Well, the Colts.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see another repeat of that Bills performance out of Indianapolis. They're at home. Colts, the Colts are a good team. The record doesn't
Yes.
indicate it, but everything's getting right for the Colts right now. So yeah, Colts over the Jags.
Okay, Browns, Patriots. I've got Browns to win.
Yeah, I don't love this theoretical process here. I mean, I like the Browns. I think they're a quality team, and this is a quality win you need to get on the road if you consider yourselves a contender. Coupled with the fact that the Patriots are 1-4 at home, straight up.
You
So
keep saying that.
I know. It's crazy to me to think that a team is good and you can't win home games. Like we talked about it with the Philadelphia Eagles. They can't win home games. So the big part of your season and the part that's supposed to come easy is winning home games, and they're just not doing it. So I'm sitting here plugging my nose and taking the Browns straight up.
All right. I got Cowboys, and not only do I have the Cowboys big against the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboys should win this game relatively easily. I think that they should be able to shred the defense. The only question really is in covering that large of a number is, can the Falcons come back late Matt Ryan's having a relatively good season here, 2,100 yards through the air and 15 touchdowns. The question really is, can the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys will keep them at arm's length. So I'm thinking like a 10-point victory here.
How bad would it be if the Jets beat the Bills?
How bad would it be for who? It'd be great for the Jets.
For the Bills.
Yeah, for them to be 5-4, and with losses to the Jaguars and the Jets, I mean,
in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, if the Patriots end up beating the Browns and the Bills the Jets beat the Bills, then you got a first place Patriots team. Did you see that one coming?
Yes, I did, but that's another story. I've got Jets to win the game straight up. Mike White season.
Good luck with that. I mean, might as well throw a little 3-team parlay on like the Jags, Jets, and Lions. It might pay out pretty nicely.
Or Jets, Lions, and football team. Okay, don't do the football team.
Anything is possible in the NFL.
Fair enough. Saints, Titans. I've got the Saints to win. I'm assuming so do you. Straight up.
I mean, yeah, most likely they're probably going to win this game again. A home game, 8-2, no Kamara, I think they're gonna be 8-2. The Saints are just fading. It's unfortunate that the season is just going to get away from them like this. I mean, I feel so bad for Jameis Winston. And it's just incredibly just not fair the way that happened to him. He just it isn't. It's just
after the injury, yeah, of course.
It was an unfortunate tackle. I mean, no blame on Devin
He was
White
playing well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like everything was going well for him. I'm a big Jameis stan, and you know that. So it's just incredibly unfortunate to see. But Trevor Siemian ain't it. And Taysom Hill, I mean, this gadget system, they might have to just go to that and figure out how to win football games. But like, how much money, Drew Brees, would it take for you to just come down from that NBC Sunday Night Football job?
He seems to enjoy that so much.
And that's fine. I can understand that. But come on, man. Help your boy Peyton out. You guys got a ring together. $20 million. There you go, buddy. Just go and, we'll protect you as best we can, and we'll try to at least get to the playoffs.
Do it.
Yeah, I don't understand this whole Phillip Rivers. Well, if they call me, no, Phillip, stay away. Please stay away.
Right. Keep making more kids is what you're only good at. You're not good at playing quarterback. Sorry. Shots fired. Buccaneers football team. Aaron, I don't mind this, but I don't mind the football team winning it. And what if I told you the football team has better odds to win this game than the Jets do to beat the Bills? Like football team plus 350, Jets plus 475. So the Vegas is telling you there's a better chance football team wins this game.
They're not mutually exclusive there, though. So I can't really agree with you. I can't really agree with that sentiment there in that spot. I think that the Jets, if you put the Jets and the football team line up, I think the Washington football team's a better team. So
right, but the Buccaneers.
Yeah, well, the Buccaneers are not very good away from home. I mean, Vegas doesn't set a spread based on another game. That's not how it works.
Ah,
All these spreads
boo.
are not mutually exclusive. They're independent of each other. The Buccaneers are 2-2 away from home. It's not like they're incredible or anything, but uh, I see a better matchup here. I mean, they're 0-4 against the spread on the road. I see a better matchup. Like I said, I see Washington putting up a fight here. I mean, this is theoretically the last ditch effort. 2-7. I think you got to pack it in and prepare for the next year. But the Buccaneers ultimately get the win here.
Lions, Steelers. Ian gets his upset.
No,
You think Steelers?
no. I think we get a steady dose. I'll say that Najee Harris,
Najee.
125 yards and 2 touchdowns here in this game.
Ooh, big numbers. Put them on FanDuel. Vikings and the Chargers. I've got the Chargers to win.
I'll take the Vikings just for sake of being on the opposite side here. But I think either of these teams can easily win this game. And the Chargers are just very average at home. So that opens the door for Kirk Cousins to get us to believe in him again.
Plus 145 for the Vikings isn't bad, by the way.
Not bad at all. Nope.
A little lottery ticket this week on Facebook, are we? Hey, Panthers and the Cardinals here. I picked the under, but I don't even bet US doesn't even have a money line, so it means Cardinals are just going to boat race them, right?
There's got to be a money line somewhere around.
Not for us, but maybe you can check it out. I have no idea.
Let me check some odds here in Vegas.
I feel like Kyler's going to play. I believe last week we even predicted that he wasn't going to play, and he didn't play. I like Colt McCoy, but I love Kyler Murray. Love me some Kyler Murray.
I'm looking at just a basic consensus line here is Arizona basically minus 500, Carolina plus 400.
Woo! Wow.
All that being said, I expect the Cardinals to get a win here. But I think P.J. Walker is going to have a decent game. That's more hope than belief. So, I don't know. Let's go P.J.
Is McCaffrey playing?
Should be.
Oh. So what do we put the Panthers, the football team, and let's just say the Lions in a little lottery thing there?
We can light it on fire.
We could, heck yeah, well, the whole place. Seahawks, Packers, straight up, I've got the Packers. But again, who's playing?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question is who's going to play in this spot. I'm going to find a way to believe that Aaron Rodgers plays.
I am too.
Everything's leaning towards Russell Wilson playing as well. But again, 2 different types of injuries.
Moneymaker.
If Aaron Rodgers plays, theoretically, they are literally fully healthy. Like there's a difference between recovering from COVID-19 and recovering from a broken finger or fractured finger, whatever he got. So
we're getting canceled.
Give me the Packers straight up, even if Jordan Love does play. I think we get a steady dose of Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon in this one. So keep the ball away from Russell Wilson or Geno Smith. That's the play.
Yeah, because we don't want Geno Smith to light us up. That would just be terrible. Eagles, Broncos, I got Teddy covers. I do like Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni led Eagles, but I think Broncos defense showed up last week and kind of almost saved their season. They're still competitive. I think it's a big win here.
So wait, let me understand this. You said I like Teddy covers, but I'm basically going to bet against them.
No, I got -2.
Oh, so you like Teddy covers? Okay, I thought you said.
I think Broncos showed up last week and showed they still have a sliver of hope left in their season.
All right, well, give me. I'm gonna be. I would. This would be going against Teddy covers, but I'm actually just going against you. Give me the Eagles.
Boo! Plus 110. I hope you make $2 off that.
It's better than the no bucks you're going to make.
Oh, wow. Chiefs, Raiders. I got Chiefs. Big.
I'll take the Raiders.
Oh, come on. You and your... He's Vegas homaging right now. Homering. Whatever you want to call it. I
don't know, but I don't think either of those were actual words.
Oh, you're right. I got 49ers plus 1. I'm kidding. I don't know why I just said that. Rams. I really had the Rams minus 3.5. And I just backtracked. I just saw plus 165 and loved it. I got the Rams to win.
Yeah, I think the Rams will win this one.
Plus 165 is juicy, though.
Division game on Monday night. I mean, it really is a toss-up, but could you imagine the headlines on Tuesday morning, after the OBJ signing, after the Von Miller? I mean, just to lose 2 in a row, basically, here, this team. I mean, you already got Lou chirping, this is the Matt Stafford we know. Well, is it really?
Well, wasn't he the one that said that he was supposed to be really good? Like, Lions fans are quick to either say, "Oh, well, we told you he was good," or "Oh, we told you he sucked." Sometimes, no, you told us he was good. Leave it.
It kind of like
consistent.
I kind of liken it to when Tom Brady left New England, and we're like Tampa Bay fans. We're like cheering, hey, Tampa, we got the GOAT. This is our guy, and we win the Super Bowl. And we're like, well, he's ours. You'll never be able to duplicate the 20 years we had with New England. He's gone.
What is it?
He's gone. Well, yeah. And then when I subscribe to WEEI on Facebook and on the podcast and stuff. And anytime Tom Brady does not do well, they are ready to light him up. So it's
we told you it was Mac Jones' time.
Yeah. So you're right. What is it? Is Matt Stafford a good quarterback, or is it this is what we saw with the Lions? Like, what is it? Make up your mind. I think Matt Stafford is a good quarterback. Do I think he's the sole reason this Rams team can win a Super Bowl? No, I think he's got the benefit of low key one of the more underrated backs, Darrell Henderson Jr. When he can stay healthy, the guy's made of glass, but when he can stay healthy, he's one of the better running backs. And then, of course, you know this. He's got the best receiver in the league.
And that's not racist. It's very true because stats show it, okay?
I don't know how race got brought into this, but yeah, sure.
What? Cooper? Oh, my. Okay, go ahead. Take us home as we say on the AM Drive.
Okay, well, we appreciate you guys watching and tuning in. Hopefully the picks go well. I'm going to put up the Twitter. We'll put up a Twitter with all of our picks on there. That way you can get a rundown. But please, once again, check the show out. The replay is on tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern?
Yes.
All right, good stuff. So for Michael Carvelis, I am Aaron Crouch, the ghost of Captain Lou. He couldn't be with us this week. Hopefully he's doing okay. But good luck on your Week 10 bets, whether you tail, whether you fade, whether you do a mix of both. Good luck to you. Bet responsibly. Make sure you check out BetUS, new subscribers. When you sign up for an account, use promo code 120Z for that 125% deposit bonus. If you like crypto, go for a 200% deposit bonus. And that's it for us. Hopefully we all do well. We all make some money, and we can take all of our significant others or that dog barking outside to a nice steak dinner.
That was a terrible ending, but yes, you're right.
Well, hey, your mom there. You can take her to a nice dinner, right?
Fair.
There you go. Fair enough. So, all right, once again, it's the NFL betting preview show for week number 10 with myself and Michael Carvelis. We will catch you guys on Monday to recap how all of this went. And we'll see you. Good luck. Again, good luck in week 10. We'll see you next time.
Bye.